Friendly is Hannover hosting Leeds United as the two teams take to the field. It is Leeds United's first chance to don their rather dashing away kit. Myself, Tom Hill and Tony Dorigo will bring you all the action this afternoon as the two teams get to grips with each other, get some more minutes in the system. Leeds United, Tony, you saw the game against Harrogate and a chance, to dust those cobwebs off. This, another beautiful day. A slightly, bigger step up in opposition and a step closer to that first game of the season. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to this and seeing how the boys get on. And I think it is important, you're right, that each game is one certainly slightly harder, slightly better in opposition. And this side are probably a week or two ahead of us, aren't they, in fitness, because their season starts a little earlier. So looking forward to seeing how they go. And you're right, that kit looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I was about to ask your opinion on it, but we've been speaking about it in the build-up, and I'm sure it'll be very, very popular. And the main thing is, let's hope it's very, very successful for Leeds United as Hannover get ready for proceedings. They go with Leo Winkalf in goal. It's then Say Mahoya, Josh Knights, Phil Neumann, Marcel Halstenberg will wear the captain's armband, Yannick Diem, Enzo Leopold, Max Christensen, Haijun Lee, Andreas Vogelsammer, and then Nicolo Tres-Oldi, and a long list of names on the bench, which I'm sure we will go through as proceedings tick by. Leeds United, Caldalo, Sam Barham, Joe Rodon, Pascal Straub, Junior Firpo, Ethan Ampadu, Ilya Gruev, Brendan Aronson, Jorginho, Wilfred Nonto and Joel Pirro. So we're just waiting for last minute checks on proceedings. A rather dashing kit for Caldalo, who will start in goal. The bench for Leeds, Melia, Alex Cairns, Jadon Bogle, Joe Rothwell, Crescencio Somerville, Matteo Joseph, Joe Gelhart, Max Ferber, Harry Gray, Charlie Crew, James DeBayo, Luca Thomas and Sam Chambers. So let's see if Leeds United don the same formation they did on Friday with a bit of a mix-up with the back three. Doesn't appear to be the case, Tony. We thought it wouldn't be. We know that it can change as proceedings go on, but it does look like early days 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, definitely a 4-2-3-1. And we thought that, didn't we, with the players that are out there. Good to see Ampadu this time in midfield. His probably preferred position, but he was that good, wasn't he, with Rodon at centre-half. That partnership was a difficult one to break up, but Strauch on the ball here, I think, will be having something to say about that. He looks really fit and strong, doesn't he?
Yeah, this season, hopefully an injury-free one for the Leeds United centre-half, as an early touch for Firpo at left-back. Ampadu and Gruev sitting in midfield, and a case of seeing how that midfield three behind the striker manoeuvres. They can all play in each other's position. For now, Jorginho looks to be the 10 as he comes wide. Willie Nonto on the right-hand side as well. Jorginho just slightly limping away there, just coming together, I think, rather than anything for us to panic about inside the first minute. But beautiful playing surface as well.
Yeah, it looks good. Certainly does look good. And I think certainly Nonto on the right will be more of a winger. Aronson, I think, might just tuck inside slightly now and then. Of course, that allows Firpo to get flying forward down that left-hand side. So you can see why they're played where they are. But yeah, Ampadu and Gruev, I think that'll be an interesting one there. How that kind of functions. Ampadu really needs to be the midfield general, doesn't he, and spray that ball around.
Yeah, Jorginho trying to do just that. Firpo and the right back on the far side, which is Merhoya, who is trying to stand him up. Firpo gets the better of him, and now it is Aronson to come on the inside, and Merhoya and Firpo both going for the same ball, both panicking. And it's actually worked in Leeds' favour, who've done well to keep the play alive. Some nice short, snappy passing. Gruev into Ampadu, and further wide was the option at first, but now back and safe. And really the first opportunity inside 2 minutes for either of these two teams to get a foothold in this game, and it Leeds starting the better of the two. Firpo is very wide, you did mention it, Tony, and as high up as the last man in defence there for Leeds, but now back in the left back spot. Nonto back towards Rodon, but a bit of a mix, Tony. Quick passing wide, if it's not on, going back. Just try to get a feel and a control of proceeding.
Yeah, and I think it's important to get a touch of the ball. Certainly nice and confident, I like keeping the ball, but what I would say is, where's our end product? What are we looking for? But I think certainly comfortable. Hannover there with playing three at the back. Nice and tight, aren't they? We can't find any sort of space further up the pitch, but yeah, good possession.
Yeah, the hosts today for this game, finishing 6th last year in the second division in Germany in the Bundesliga 2. Won 13, drew 13. Very tough to break down in certain games, and that back three is something that Leeds will have to work through. But
wonderful passing, by the way. This is great stuff.
Within 3 or 4 passes, Leeds are on the attack, and this move is still flowing nicely. Aronson towards Firpo. There was a couple of options there for Brendan Aronson. I think he went for the safest one, which ordinarily would have been fine, but intercepting that was Phil Neumann in defence for Hannover. But the main thing, the aesthetically pleasing bit, was the way that they just carved through that right-hand side of the Hannover midfield turn.
And I'm sure someone will let us know and count how many passes that was, because it was quite incredible.
Jorginho runs into trouble. Strout told to go back to Darlow by Joe Rodon. Listens to his centre-back partner.
And that's the beauty as well of having Ampadu in that midfield area as well. You know, if Firpo is a bit higher up the pitch at times, he will drop back in to help out and receive the ball. But it's that passing from midfield, I think that's important. How can we find a way of getting it from that midfield area into Jorginho, without him coming so deep? We want him further up the pitch to show what he can do in that last third.
Yeah, Pascal Straug, again, looking for that early ball forward, but all very patient this for Leeds, who for a good 2-3 minutes now have dictated play, as Rodon nearly showed too much to centre forward Tresoldi. Into midfield again, and perfect early shout from Tony, who said Aronson will cut inside, get space, and now Hannover have left him alone on the far touchline. He's got Jorginho on the edge of the box if he wants to use him. Still going Aronson, drifting inside, shot across the face. Not the most cleanest of strike. That's allowed the goalkeeper, Winkalf, to make the save, but Leeds' attack is still going here. Ampadu, Byram, beautiful turn from Pirot. Sadly got a last-minute tackle in Hannover, but there's a lot to like about some of the play that Leeds have had in the early stages.
Well, really good, excellent play, wasn't it? Aronson, great work from him. Yeah, unfortunate, you're right, the strike was not bad though, going the corner, good save, and Pirot there just trying to fashion that half a yard to get his shot away, couldn't quite do it.
Nonto gets caught, he had 2 for company, and Hannover players with a rare chance to get a touch on the ball. The first man there was the midfielder Haijun Lee, who's on loan from the second team in Bayern Munich. Now maybe just a glimmer of Leeds taking a very short breath, because as I say that, Ilya Gruev pounced forward, trying to put the pressure on, and we want to see the flamboyant attacking Tony. Of course, as fan base, as a club, we want to see what defensively structure we've got in today as well. I'm sure we will, but inside 6 minutes, very little defensive work for us to do. Just break off, because they've got the ball back here with Gruev. Into Aronson. Options on the far side of the box, into Gruev again. What a fabulous pass that is. Gruev goes round the keeper, and a finish that any centre-forward would be proud of. And Ilya Gruev taps in around the goalkeeper. Muted celebrations, but a fine team goal. Leeds United leading by a goal to 0.
And fully deserved. We played some really good stuff, and talking about midfield runners, I wouldn't have said Gruev is going to be that man, but there he is, popping up, gets forward, and around the keeper it goes. I thought we kept the ball extremely well for 6-7 minutes gone now, and certainly dominated, been patient with the ball, found some good areas of the pitch and made it count. So excellent start.
Just a word there on Brendan Aronson's through ball. Disguised it well, looked as if he was going to shape it around the defence, blindsided everybody with a sharper diagonal pass.
I think what we know about Brendan Aronson, when he certainly joined us at the start, he is a player that's got ability. There's absolutely no doubt. He's got great skill, great ability, and he's got a pass in him. But his game certainly, I think, slightly unravelled with confidence. It's as simple as that. Things were, I think, probably more physical than he thought, and he began to struggle. But I think what we do know, he has got that ability. He's got a bit more experience under his belt. I look at him, I hear that he's put on 6 or 7 pounds of muscle since he's been in Germany. And of course, this year it will be the Championship. So I think it's a great opportunity. He's been brave as well. He wants to come back and put things right. And let's see how he gets on. But what I've seen, obviously, it's only 6-7 minutes gone, but he looks like he really could be a bonus for us.
Yeah, if that's anything to go by today, it's going to be a big performance from him. Fingers crossed that can continue towards half-time, of course, unless Leeds have got any pre-planned subs, which these pre-season games are often short bursts. In the notes ahead of this game, Hannover played a 25 minutes game against the FC Twente, second team in a training camp in Austria, which is a new time frame for me, 25-minute burst, but they're already into the pre-season, 4 games in, but Leeds are not looking like the team that need the sharpness inside these early stages.
And also the high press. And Pascal Strauch is up there on left wing pushing on. Look how many yellow players. You can already see 5 of them pressing the goalkeeper, and we win it back.
Yeah, the pressure tells. Nonto. Ampadu into Gruev, who suddenly in pre-season decided to be a floating 10 when he wants to be.
Goal machine. The Bulgarian goal machine.
It's Firpo on that left-hand side. He's got Aronson to help out, but Leeds just taking the sting out of the attack. Strauk again to Rodon. Byron peeling away for a helping hand. Joe Rodon picking out Shopiro, who uses that strength of his to hold off the pressure. Jorginho back to Nonto. It's again nice close quarter football from Leeds. That last minute through ball goes astray, but again that press, 4 yellow shirts involved. Hannover in the end given a free kick by Henry Schroeder, today's referee.
I think what's clear is with this Hannover side is they like to play out from the back, don't they? With 3 at the back, plenty of passing going on, so that just affords us to push on, and already you can see there's no way that Hannover are going to be able to have an easy pass to anyone.
Yeah, Ethan Ampadu with another strong challenge from behind. He was involved in that last tussle, and now he's the lone guilty party with a challenge through the back of Hannover midfield. The Leeds still leading by that goal to 0, thanks to Gruev.
I think also in pre-season the manager normally comes out and says, okay, you're going to play 45 minutes or 60 minutes, give it absolutely everything. So you want to get that fitness out of it, but you might only be playing half of the game. Hence why you can see that our pace, our intent of winning the ball back and using our energy is really high.
Yeah, Ampadu there and Gruev both making the same runs, synchronised at first, backwards and forwards. Eventually they split up, and Leeds didn't have any problems anyway, because Hannover's ball towards Trizoldi, who's been a bit of a passenger up there, the number 9. Went too far over, and Caldalo's had a lot of mopping up to do inside the early exchanges.
And I have to say, Caldalo's goalkeeping outfit is pretty snazzy as well.
Okay, yeah.
I won't be buying it, however, but I do like it.
It's very nice of Vittorio not to leave him out. There's a lot of love for the players out there today in that strip, with plenty of good reaction online as well, as Firpo and Aronson wrestle their way down the touchline. They've both combined very well. That was a bit industrious, a bit more robust, but it's still effective as Firpo gets involved again to Pirot, who's dropped very deep. He's still going here. The Leeds number 7 gets it back. Leeds carving their way through once more, and nearly from one end of the pitch to the other. And sadly, they will settle for a throw. But Junior Firpo, Aronson, Pirot, all on the same page. All
looking really good, and just the balance Firpo's allowed to kind of get up there, because Byram will tuck around. Ampadu just sits in front, so very important when we go forward. We're not exposed also at the back, the right sort of balance, and we're showing that in spades today.
Byram to Nonto, who stayed pretty wide so far out of the 2 wingers, hugging that touchline, giving Leeds that extra bit of space on the other side as Rodon glides out of defence like we know he likes to do. Firpo, Aronson, back to Ampadu, who's got Gruev on his inside, doesn't use him. Aronson's ball in was more of a dinked effort, with hoping for a bit of a lucky bounce, but Hannover had that covered. But again, once Hannover break, lose possession, Leeds get it back. And Joe Rodon looking very composed to find that Nonto. Here's Jorginho, strides away from trouble. Great ball out to Nonto, across towards Pirot. Aronson at the far post. And just when you thought the goal second of the afternoon for Leeds United would be coming, Brendan Aronson needed an extra inch on those studs.
It's great play again. It really is, and it started right from the back from Rodon. You wanted that ball into Jorginho Ruter, who found an excellent pass, and I was just willing Nonto to hit it first time, and he did. Space was there just no one quite on the end of it, but really good play.
As you say, nearly had everything for Leeds, as the throw-in will be taken by Phil Neumann. Number 5, there's a ex-Peterborough defender in the ranks of Hannover today, Josh Knight, a summer signing, wearing the number 2.
And there again, just getting hassled out of possession. Hannover struggling with the intense pressure they're under.
Yeah, it's not been an easy afternoon for goalkeeper Leo Winkalf, who's normally the backup. The club captain, Ron Robert Zile, is on the bench, and he might be only getting the 45 minutes, as you've already alluded to, Tony, to impress. I've mentioned that about Leeds, but there are players for Hannover today that have got the same remit. As here is Firpo. To the box he strides, across the face. Winkalf gets across this time. Firpo kicks the railings behind in frustration, but a good run. He put it into a dangerous area. Perhaps a bit harsh on himself.
I like that reaction. I really do. And it is a friendly. Let's not get too carried away here. But they're trying to do the right thing. They want to do well. They're putting every bit of effort into it. And I think he clearly felt he should have had a better ball in. But I love the positions they're getting into. I like the way they're approaching this. And I think tactically, I'm sure Daniel Farke will be pleased with what he's seeing.
So far, so good. In terms of a fitness test as well, and everybody working hard as a unit, as Nonto epitomises that there. And Hannover is in these areas where they would like a bit more time.
Well, they're not getting it. See, Gruev, look how high he is. So our 2 holding midfielders are up there, pushing on. Defenders then must be high up as well.
Yeah, first chance for them to get in behind here, Hannover. As we do that, they're offside, which is much to our delight. Yannick Deem setting off too early from left back.
And if you are going to play like that, what is important is that ball over the top. Are you ready for it? Have you got the speed at the back? And I think in Byram, certainly Rodon and Strauch, more than quick enough to sort that out.
Jorginho collects possession, rolls it to the right-hand side for Nonto again, who's been told to go backwards by Sam Byram. An instruction he follows. And all very straightforward this so far for Leeds, with the new captain Ethan Ampadu, and I'm sure we'll touch upon that when we get a chance for a drinks break, Tony. The changes we've had in the last few days since our last game as Nonto gets possession. Byram to meet the overlapping run. It may give Nonto a bit more time. Good shielding of possession, certainly not cheap with the ball, and a 50-50 there for Gruev to deal with. Rodon with the more old school clearance over the back of his head, and it will be a throw-in to Leeds United.
Sam, come on!
Ball bounces off Jorginho. It might help Hannover break, and they were clearly trying to look for the switch there. Firpo stepped up and read it, and now Pascal Strauch striding forward at first, but his body language suggested there was never going to be a lung-bursting run down that left-hand side, and Rodon goes back again to Ampadu, and I think you said it earlier, Tony, having Ampadu in midfield means that if a centre-back does push forward, or a left-back or a right-back steps out, you have a very capable man in there that can just go, I'll stand here, don't you worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, he can read the game so well. He's trying to get on the ball, and Firpo then is allowed to really use his attributes, which is going forward. So, really good player, and as we will talk about in greater depth, being the captain as well, great last season as he had, reads the game in that central area and really can have an effect on the others around him.
Yeah, but assessing the field here from a deeper lying position. Why Strauch and Firpo again has seen plenty of the ball. Could have gone into Ampadu, eventually did. And he's found Aronson, who goes to ground. Free kick was given. Leeds arguably didn't need it, but
I
wonder if Hannover just slowed down for a split second. Yeah, I mean, if that was Leeds the other way in a big game, you would ask for the free kick to be brought back. But again, just I mean, as we said before the game, Tony, pre-season's about fitness, minutes, and then you're looking for small little thing. If it is anything to go by, just break off, because Leeds going forward, the partnership between Aronson and Firpo, inside runner, outside runner, has worked really well.
Is working
I know
a
it's a
treat.
friendly, but
that's the
for
plan.
small things.
That's what you're looking for. That's the plan, isn't it? So, how can we get the best out of Aronson? Do you think he's a wide left winger? No, he's not. That's not his strength. It will be to come inside, pick the pass, twist and turn. That allows and opens a space up for certainly Firpo to run in at the right time. So just seeing those little movements are really important and certainly positive.
Mistake here from Hannover. Jorginho pounces, twisting. Ball to Nonto, chance for Nonto to score or square it, saved by the goalkeeper. Leo Winkalf smothering the Leeds United number 29, who, if he gets his time again, may have gone across goal, but it's the way that Leeds...
Georgie, what about that piece of skill?
Yeah, I would say it's the way that Leeds are creating chances by the press, but then when you do something that Georgie did, it carves open any defence.
And that's what I said about Jorginho Rutter. What we need to do with him this season is get him on the ball in the right areas far more, not around the halfway line, in and around that box. Look what he did there. Left, right, bang, it goes out wide, chance of a goal.
Grev into Jorginho, plays it back. Nonto lurking on the edge. Leeds have stayed forward though, so perhaps many players expecting a cross. It's one that Nonto delivers all the way across to the far post, behind for a goal kick.
Yes, ready again.
Aronson gets a touch to that, so it is going to be a Hannover throw.
I think Hannover would be pleased they can get 7 or 8 passes together, but they're really struggling, aren't they, to gain any sort of foothold so far. They can't get through our midfield, and here, keeper's looking for an open man. Ooh, not sure there is one.
Yeah, it's the way everyone seems to be bang on it, as well as expecting what's coming. Aronson is the latest one to read the game. He wins a free kick. Ampadu straight away applauds the effort there from the Leeds United midfielder.
Excellent.
And that is his defensive side of the game. That's where he does come into the frame, isn't it? Because he works hard. He can read, as a midfielder, what's going to come from those positions. And it's the acceleration will be up there, one of the best in the league from a short distance.
Yeah, I think, and commitment and discipline, I mean, it's really important. And you think it's strange I'm talking about that with regard to forward players, but it's not. You've got to do that side of the job. And then, of course, when they do get the chance, show what they're about. But there you saw Brendan Aronson working extremely hard to win the ball back. And, if that's a ploy, the whole team must be on the same page, and they certainly were.
He's looking to have a go here, I think, Aronson, towards that corner. And it took a deflection on its way, and that will be another Leeds United set piece. The minute he got fouled, he wanted the free kick, which
he did.
Again, he's got a point to prove this year, and a good sign, even in friendlies, that players are hungry to get some of the limelight, which Leeds will hope to have more from here. They got a goal from a corner with Jorginho on Friday. Not a wholeheartedly direct, but from a knockdown. So let's see if this can be any difference. Aronsson's ball in near post. Jorginho's flick on. It's still not fully clear from Hannover. Nonto goes to ground, looking to try and buy the free kick. Gets one. Not much in it, according to the face of Phil Neumann, the number 5 of Hannover.
Well, Nonto knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah. The ball was a long way away. Just wanted a little touch, and he was always going to go down. But it is a free kick.
Yeah, there was contact. I mean, Nonto initiated it, but that is professional football nowadays. There's forwards that do that. It's up to the defender to be crafty and aware.
Wise to it. If you're going to make a challenge, you better get some of the ball. In my day, you could get a bit of the man as well.
I was about to ask. It's a tad different when you played at left back.
Well, you could get the ball and the man, and you think great challenge. But now you get the ball and the man, and you might be in a bit of bother. So yeah, got to be careful.
Aronson dummies, allowing Gruev to take it. Leeds with one flick on, and sadly for Sam Barham, not one that is goal bound as we cross over halfway in the first half of this pre-season friendly. And I mean, so far so good. Again, not a lot of people read things, unless there's a heavy defeat where I'm sure fans would panic. But Caldalo's had 6 touches with his feet. Forwards have been all over. Midfield's worked hard. I think if you had a clipboard in front of Daniel Farker, there'll be boxes ticked all over the place.
Yeah, is there a clear thought and tactic and pattern of play? Well, yes, most certainly. We look fit, we look strong. The commitment is there. Got to just caveat that with oh, good catch, good catch, Sam. I'd say a free kick with the opposition, haven't we? Okay, they're in the second division in Germany, but that quite wouldn't be as strong as our Championship. But even so, I think at this stage of the season, this is a good 23-minute workout for sure.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few of our 49ers ownership who would be proud of that if that was in the NFL for Sam Byram in the end zone this season.
We might lose him.
That was some good reactions from the Leeds right back. As Ampadu nips him with a challenge. Byram now just trying to assess where that ball was bounced. Nonto towards Jorginho. Leeds have got little combinations working all around the park. Nonto into Jorginho is one of them. We've had Firpo to Aronson. Aronson again bounces off the defender. Could have gone forward but just kept it nice and controlled.
I said before the game that this team Hannover are a week or two ahead of us in fitness, but it looks the other way around, doesn't it? We look sharper, we look quicker and stronger.
Yeah, most certainly do. And you saw the comments after the Harrogate game, comments about the trip that Leeds have been on as well, saying how hard it's been for the running. Conditions around that part of Europe are pretty good as well to get some hard work into the players. And there's a real zip about Leeds. Of course, friendlies can change in structure with the umpteen subs we might have, but you can only work off what you can see each time. And Leeds, as we are here, with another potential attack inside the first 25 minutes. Ampadu sharp away towards Gruev.
I think for players, the pre-season games are a relief. That you don't have to keep running. Not that training that you're doing. You can finally get out on the pitch and do what you, of course, love to do.
I know it didn't work that pass there, Tony, but Ampadu in midfield, on his weaker foot, supposedly, spraying the ball with his left peg across the park. I mean, it's not that far away from Firpo, and we can touch upon what each player brings to the team, but it was more his defensive nous that we praised in the last few months of the season because of where he slotted in, but the difference he'll make to that midfield is vast.
Well, I think he was really impressive, with his passing from the back, but if we could get that passing 10 yards further up the pitch, I think that's got to be an even better thing. So yeah, we'll see, no doubt, way more than that.
Here is Stout towards Rodon.
Someone give Carl the ball, let him join in. I mean, he's looking pretty bored back there.
Yeah, I do wonder with these pre-season, games, goalkeepers, a lot of it is depending on the level of opposition you play. It's a watching exercise from afar, but I mean, we know what the level of game is now. His movement, what he does, is being assessed by goalkeeping staff and things like that as well.
I think for goalkeepers, it's always about their mental approach, because they may have nothing to do for 10 minutes and then that one opportunity they need to make the right decision. So, whether they have nothing for 15, 20 minutes, at some point in the game, they're going to be there and having to make a save. So, he'll be switched on and making sure that when that moment comes, he's ready.
And over into midfield, a rare touch for them in that middle of that park for Andreas Vogelsammer. And Leeds have got it back now with Pirro. He smashes the ball home, and a mistake at the back from Hannover again. What looked like a routine move. Leeds get it back, and as emphatic as you get from Joe Pirro with the right boot, Leeds 2-0.
Great pressure. We win the ball back. First time pass from Georgie. And what we do know about Pirro, he has got composure in front of goal. And that one managed to get it out of his feet and just blasted it home. It's a great finish. Save the goals, boys. I mean, this is looking all right. Well, more than all right.
Yeah, and of course, the level will step up again with the final pre-season game at Ellen Road, and there's a glimpse there of the players that are coming back round the side of the pitch. Those that are looking to impress as well in the next half an hour. But inside the early stages, good signs for Leeds. Defensively here, though, switched off, long ball over the top, and I say switched off, the offside flag. Nicola Tresoldi finished with a lobbed effort over Caldalo's head. And Leeds' defenders will say he would never have got there had he been onside.
And if they're holding a high line and they have caught the man offside, then it's good defending. You don't just drop because the man is making a run. You've got to make sure that the pressure on the ball, and when the ball comes, that he's the wrong side, which he was.
Yeah, and a free kick there for Leeds for Nonso. I mean, the only two times that, the only two occasions that Hannover have actually got in behind, they've both been offside. So you would say defensively that's a line that is working very well.
Yeah, and that's all about just communication, understanding where your teammate is, what you're trying to do as a team as well, and those distances between midfield, defence, and attack are all very important. The referee there gives I think another free kick our way.
Yeah, Byram will probably feel he gets away with one, but we'll take it. His reaction was more of a disappointment that his misplaced pass.
That shirt does look good. That looks cool.
Well, even just the full kit as well, just to see it as a full strip. I know yellow goes down very well with the fan base so far. Very, very good on the eye. Now we just hope to see umpteen goals, promotion celebrations, to remember it even more fondly.
I'm with you there, but let's just keep ourselves calm for now, okay?
It's the excitement of the launch, Tony. That's
exactly. That's okay. Well, and it's always the hope, isn't it? The start of the pre-season and the season, you have a lot of teams think, right, this is going to be our year, and the bubble gets burst. But I don't think our bubble's going to get burst. I'm from what I'm seeing, and I think certainly from what happened at the start of last pre-season and all the troubles that we went through, and look where we ended up. But this now is a lot better pre-season. And just looking at the way that we're playing, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, Jorginho and Ampadu leading the charge out wide. Hannover stretching the play. But again, they've been forced into last-minute passes that have got to be perfect, because either there's a runner man for man, there's a zonal mark, there's not much ability to build up. I think you said it 10-15 minutes ago, to make 7 passes. It's 1-2, and then that last one's got to be good. And at the minute, Leeds are forcing Hannover into more mistakes than they would like. Nonto goes wide, just gets bumped off.
Another foul.
And Henry Schroeder views that as a infringement from Marcel Halstenberg, the captain for today, or at least for this first early stages for Hannover.
Yeah, I'm sure they're pretty frustrated. They're getting the runaround. Simple as that. They're not having much of the ball. Not a lot of joy going forward. Already leaked a couple of goals.
It's been hard work for them, even more so here as Nonto finds Jorginho, who for a second maybe thought he wanted the free kick, but on his way forward into Ampadu, just gets the slightest of touches from the Welsh international, and the Wales midfielder helps it on its way. Gruev looking for Firpo in behind at first, perhaps misplaced pass from Aronson. Gruev tries to get back. That is a ball-winning challenge, says the referee, and it's very important that it was, because that was the first moment where Leeds had been caught out on the ball themselves with a 2-on-2 opportunity for Hannover.
Yeah, and I think what we see from Gruev is those sorts of challenges, haven't we, last season, those last-minute ones where it's so vital that he makes it. This time it was his own little mistake, a heavy touch, but he got there, tidied it up well.
Darlow across the Strauch, and Firpo's tucked in, meaning Aronson's now the left-back option. That will now revert back to type as Leeds start again into Gruev, who just adds a bit of pace into his run. Nonto trying to keep it alive. Rodon is a player that Hannover have just tried to exploit. Either the two centre-backs, they're the ones that are getting forced wide, just try to make him make a pass he doesn't want, but Renuja Rodon is very adaptable, and so far so good, even though that pass eventually was classed as a mistake.
Well, it's about the first time that Hannover have been able to commit a load of bodies forward and give us the high press. We've dealt with it rather well up until now.
You can give him a chest up there with Pirot trying to jolt forward, put the goalkeeper under pressure. Strauch, the one that was clearing the ball away from holding midfield on the right-hand side. So Leeds have found a few of their players uncharacteristically out of position, but it's never phased them. they've just slotted back into different areas. They'll have to do here the same. Gruev out of position, but Ampadu steps in. Hannover just maybe winning a bit more of the second balls, a bit higher at the pitch than they were in the first 25 or so minutes. But very little for Leeds to panic about, who will probably appreciate the defensive work they're having to do. Certainly at the back. Chance to work on a few things. Plenty of communication out there from the players. Halstenberg to Josh Knight. Knight down that right hand side. They've got a bit of space here of Hannover. Aronson getting back. Tresoldi goes for goal, and first opportunity for Hannover to really show what they're about in possession, and it should have been on target. Still 2-0.
Should have been. Yeah, that was actually a really good move as well. A good pullback, go through the legs of Strauch, and the striker's just held out, and really from that sort of angle and area should at least hit the target. Good move.
Yeah, a chance to see what Leeds can work on defensively. Daniel Farker will look for those areas that can be improved upon. Composed from Sam Byram, who at all times looked like he was constantly about to lose the ball, and he probably for a second never thought he was, and he got away with it.
But Georgie does. Georgie does, and that's exactly the area where I think he has to learn. In that's what we don't want to be doing. Georgie, 5 yards outside of our own box, he tries something spectacular, spin on the edge, we lose the ball. That, I think, in the Premier League, as we have seen, will end up in the back of your net. We're in the Championship, you don't want to take those chances anyway.
Yeah, here's Nonto trying to get it back to Byram, who was just a little bit outstretched. I think he got a hand to the face at the same time, as well as we tick by to the last 10 minutes of this first half. Byram caught on the ball, and heavy enough foul where you just feel a little bit sorry for yourself when you get back up off the floor. 2 challenges in a row where he's come off second best. Leopold wide to Knight. Hannover just slightly growing in a bit more confidence, a bit more territory for them to work in. Halstenberg back into Leopold, who's dropping in as a third centre-back almost. Didn't work that time though, tried to thread the pass through and got caught. Pirro can't get the ball from him. It is the Hannover number 8 that gets there first. His direct pass. Great little bit of a delay from Pascal Stroud, because that first pass back, Tresoldi was lurking. He got told to just delay it a little bit. That's allowed him with Ampadu, although it's all very stretched out there for Leeds. But last few minutes, you're getting to see what, the pace has dropped a little bit, players aren't as sharp, and working things out together.
Yeah, and I think also, Darlow, the ball into Ampadu, he didn't really want it there, Ampadu. He had someone right up his backside and no real option to pass. He had to keep it. He kept it extremely well, but these are the sort of things, I think, in pre-season that you're just trying to work on. Decision-making, maybe in the Championship, that ball just goes long.
It's a long throw in from Ampadu. It's a weapon perhaps that Leeds could exploit this season. Byram following his runner, which is Hyjin Lee, cutting in from the left-hand side. And last few minutes, Leeds, I wouldn't say not had a touch of it, but there's been very little progression. Could all change there with the way they were playing inside that first 25 minutes. But now, all about keeping a defensive structure. They're doing so as it stands. Hard-working afternoon so far for Joel Pirro. Tony, he's been in between the 2 defenders. He's had a couple of important touches as Firpo reads the game, and this is where Leeds will like to try and exploit with Aronson's pace as he tries to get down the left-hand side. Out-muscled there. Jorginho coming in. Firpo gets there, but the foul will go against Jorginho, and Leeds repairing the surface as we do so. But yeah, didn't come off that. a glimmer of a counter-attack, but when it didn't, there was an initiative to go, right, let's go win it back straight away.
Yeah, I think the defender for Hannover actually did well on Aronson, and Jorginho's challenge unfortunately missed the ball, hence why there was a free kick given against him. But no, I think Hannover finally have got used to passing the ball out. They've looked a lot better, haven't they, in the last 10 minutes or so.
Wide, and Nonto collects possession. A couple of shimmies away from trouble, which is just what Leeds needed there. Across to Pascal Strout, Leeds with a bit of space. And putting Byram into Gruev. Now Hanover looking a little bit passive, a bit more leggy perhaps. Done a bit of running the last 10 minutes that's just required them to just take their foot off the gas for a split second.
And there you can see Ampadu dropping back in now. They're kind of making a three with the two fullbacks pushed forward. I wonder if that's a feature at times where you can quickly swap tactically.
Down the line for Aronson, whose last few minutes of the game has got away from Leeds' forwards in that respect, but working hard, try to force a mistake, gives away a free kick. It was just that extra effort on the left shoulder of the defender that the referee didn't like.
Yeah, just arms on Neumann's shoulder, but I think Aronson's had a real positive first half so far, as a lot of the boys have.
Yeah, I often look at him and I would think as a defender, he just, and I say this with respect, he'd just be very annoying, wouldn't he? You know, nibbling away at you, running at you constantly. You know you would never get a moment's rest with him.
Yeah,
in front of you.
he's buzzy, he's sharp, he's, you're right, annoying. You just want to try and stop him being so busy, but for us, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing that Junior Feppo was out there as well. It will be a corner, but it was a run he had to make to put pressure on Seymour Hoyt, who just kept that play in, the Hanover right back.
Roy actually did well, didn't he, to win a corner kick. So now, defensively, and that's where this season as well, it's really important. Defending corners, but also attacking corners. We need to be better at both ends from set pieces. And here's another opportunity to learn a bit more.
So two with pressure on the 6-yard box for Hanover. A couple of players looking on the penalty spot, and even one on the edge in the shape of Yannick Dean. Glancing header wasn't originally dealt with by the Leeds, and the ball in across was a hit and hope attempt from Hanover. And thankfully for Leeds, Enzo Leopold's effort was astray. So still just the 2-0, and they coming from Gruev and Piro. But just getting to that stage of the game where neither side are on top. Maybe want that drinks break, get the extra word from the managers, and of course what we expect is perhaps a boatload of subs.
There will be, no doubt. You can just see the way that the players have played in this first 45. The other players need to have that sharpness as well. And of course we've got Rothwell, of course, who we saw against Harrogate Town. No doubt will come on. Joseph as well. He's got to be a candidate to play through the middle. Young player, but I expect certainly big things of him this season.
Yeah, Jorginho wide to Aronson. Pirro making his way in towards the penalty area. Aronson still has Jorginho there. If he wants to use him, he goes for goal himself, gets his bearings wrong, and the execution wrong. 3 minutes left, remains 2-0.
Oh, it was unfortunate. He does everything right. He just wants to duck inside on the right-hand side and shoot at goal. Does everything apart from finish. Got to hit the target. That was a poor finish in the end. But again, good build-up play. And Jorginho on that left-hand side, superb.
Yeah, as the cliche is, everything right until the finish. You know,
which is kind of the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. It's very frustrating. I'd much rather it be everything wrong until the finish, of course, as Aronson tries to put the pressure on again. Vinkav goes long with a goal kick. Oh, sorry, a kick out from the back. Pascal Strout jumping up was upended, but no free kick, said the referee. And Aronson great feet, just runs out of wriggle room. The original trick, though, beats the defender Neumann, all ends up. And it could be, you look at the bench with Somerville, Joseph, Gelhardt, Thomas, Chambers, they're the forward players on the bench today. It could be 45 minutes for Brendan Aronson.
Yeah, and I think Max Verber would like to get on, Bogle would like to get on as well, so plenty of interest if those players come on in the second half as well. But everyone is striving to get into this side. Everyone wants to be in that first 11, and that's what these games are about. And if you look back to the last pre-season, every single pre-season, when a player might not be fancied to start, when he has the opportunity, has to show what he's about. And even I go back to a good few years back, I remember Mateusz Klich, who was kind of with the B team, wasn't he, during pre-season, got his chance and was magnificent for 45 minutes at Ellen Road. I think it was against the Spanish side. And from then, we know what happened next. He's in the side and was a great servant for the club.
Yeah, big impacts perhaps to be made, and just a point there on pre-season to a lot of people doesn't matter, but Ethan Ampadu berating the referee, discussing something as if it's the middle of December in the Championship and you've got to try and get a free kick for your team. He was disappointed with the officiating there, as Leeds have been flagged offside with less than a minute left of this first half game against Hannover.
That wasn't the brightest throw-in, was it? That was always offside Jorginho, but not to worry.
It's a common theme, so a couple of times for England in the Euros.
Yeah.
When the pressure was on. But certainly no rush to take this. Probably because they could see that line of yellow shirts ready to try and swarm them as Winkaff goes groove snapping away, and the referee suggests he did so with a foul. Shapiro just gently putting the ball towards goal, and the referee decides that is enough of the first half. And while timers suggest that could be a little bit out, that is the element of pre-season. Gruev and Piro turning with the goals, 2 smart finishes, a lot to like in that first half.
It certainly was. I thought the first half hour we absolutely dominated. Started, extremely well. Played through from defence to midfield. The press was coordinated, organised. We won the ball back well. And some really good stuff. Hanover just struggled. Once we, I think, kind of put our foot off the gas a little bit more, Hanover come back into it, but never really caused us too many problems. A couple of offsides, but I think that was an excellent first 45 minutes. Good workout, good tempo, good conditions, and on we go.
Yeah, fingers crossed that can continue in the second half. Half-time, Leeds United 2, Hannover 0. Second half about to get underway as Leeds United take on Hannover. This pre-season friendly changes expected at half-time, already seen. Essentially, Somerville, Matteo Joseph making their way onto the pitch, as well as Jayden Bogle, who will get his first minutes in a Leeds United jersey in front of us. Myself, Tom Hill and Terry DeRigo are bringing you all the action. Hannover have made a few changes as well, but of course our focus is, rightly so, on the team in that fine yellow strip. And a word, Tony, on Leeds United's new man. I mean, he's a signing that's he'll bring experience, but yet he's still, pretty young in terms of his football development in his young 20s. In his own words, he likes to get forward, likes to get attack, create chances, but wants to be defensively sound. If he can live to that mantra, I think he'll get on very well here.
Yeah, and watching him play for Sheffield United, obviously he was at Derby as well. He certainly is committed. I think defensively he's strong, but very good with the ball at his feet as well, and loves to get forward. So chipping in with the odd goal here and there and a good few assists would be rather nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, I think a really good age, 23 years of age, and I like a player that wants ambition and wants to do the best that he can, get up to that Premier League again.
Yeah, Rodon here got work to do defensively, so with the rest of that Leeds United defence, and Rodon gets a toe, or maybe the back of the ankle in the way of that ball, as here is Somerville. Joe Rothwell's also on. I think he's replaced Ilya Gruev in midfield, as Joseph tries to take on the number 2 Josh Knight, and former Peterborough man steps in. So it looks to be like for like in terms of Aronson off for Somerville, Rothwell on for Gruev, Joseph for Jorginho, and Bogle has replaced Sam Byram. So yeah, and the rest is as we were.
It is. I think just positionally, Joseph will go up top and Piru might just drop back in, but let's see. Or we'll both just swap around. We'll soon find out, but yeah, not too many changes, and I think the changes that have come on are the strongest one. The only one I kind of would say that's still on the bench there is Max Verber. So let's see if he makes an appearance.
Yes, so Leeds with Darno, Rodon, Strauk, Firpo, Ampadu, Nonto, Pirro, Burgol, Rothwell, Somerville and Joseph in this second half. They get a free kick appeal rejected by the referee. Certainly thought about it, did Henry Schroeder, but at the last second changed his mind. Rothwell didn't change his mind though. He was elusive and decisive once he got there. Quick run back and got in the way. And we got a full half ahead of us. Tony, what are you looking for? You said at the start, looking for patterns of play. I mean, it's a similar sort of instance. Of course, Bogle will get some spotlight as well.
Yeah, I think the lineup is the same. So tactically, we're still going for that 4-2-3-1. Certainly, Bogle really important that he kind of hits the ground running. We know he's fit, but it's understanding how we play, understanding his teammates, and so this sort of thing. Oh, Rothwell, I want to see that one again. That was fantastic. He's got great feet, and I always hear teammates of his say, wow, he's got the quickest feet ever. Well, I think you just saw something pretty special there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how he did it, but...
Me neither.
Yeah, Leeds sadly didn't actually build off it. It was a deflection that went the other way after that. So this this corner, should I say, is work for Leeds to do, and Hannover will try and level the playing field here from a set piece in terms of get on those smaller frames, the likes of Nonto, a few others there. There's a few tall players coming forward here for Hannover, so they want the upper hand here. The ball in, headed away off the back of a Hannover player, and then scooped away by Leeds, and as not as convinced as it could have been defensively, but the main thing is very little to worry about as Hannover take a quick throw, and one of their players off the bench, I think it's Brooklyn Eze, that has managed to step off the bench to that left-hand side. It's another interception, and you always get this with friendlies, Tony, where you have that 5-minute period where it's a little bit confused. There's a few other players trying to make a name for themselves, just try to sit, stand and go, right, what do you want me to do, boss? And we might get that for a few minutes. I
think also it's the opposition as well. Have they changed things? Have they worked out a way of causing us one or two problems? And then you have to kind of react to that. But I just saw Ampadu there going around to some of the players and just giving them a bit of instruction, which I think is important.
A similar approach though. Rothwell and Ampadu are right up there leading the charge, man for man sort of pressing really, as at the back. Leeds carved open. Bogle had gone out there towards left back for a second, and that was because Firpo had to step inside. So players staying with their man. Leeds get the decision from a set piece, and Rodon getting onside of Yesik Nankam in the number 7 jersey.
Well, a bit awkward, wasn't it, from Nankam there? Didn't really need to do that. Rodon wasn't best pleased of, I think, getting probably kneed in the head.
Yeah, that's the other side to pre-season. You want to be competitive, but you don't want needless bumps and bruises when you're trying to stay fit, of course, ahead of the season in a couple of weeks' time.
No, and that is extremely vital. Referee have a big part to play in that sort of thing as well, just making sure nothing's too silly. Of course, the main responsibility is with the players themselves, but I think playing it at a high tempo, playing it the right way, and all keeping fit, that's the plan.
Somerville to Ampadu. Rothwell back to Rodon, a bit more fizz on that pass. Certainly the same from Pirro, and now Somerville is away. He's got Joseph making a run in behind. He spots that run. Joseph goes for goal and fires into the back of the net. And the passing from Leeds United in the final third bamboozled Hannover, and they've got a third goal.
Absolutely brilliant. That is one hell of a goal right from the start. When we were passing it out the back, through the middle, up and down, wonderful movement, great understanding. And Matteo Joseph, really pleased for him as well, because I always think back to the last pre-season when he came on for a few cameos with 10, 20 minutes or 45-minute games. Remember the one against Monaco, he came on the left-hand side, and he looked really, really good, and I thought, right, he's going to have a big season. But he got injured just at the wrong time, and then when he did have a chance in the season, again, got injured. So I want to hopefully keep him fit, because that's what he can offer. That run into the channel, timing of the pass was perfect, and it's a really good finish, but all round there's some really good play there.
Yeah, great vision. that's what he had as well, isn't it? The running behind. And he's got that pace that perhaps, Pirro would like to sit a bit deeper. Jorginho likes to, stretch plays a bit differently, but he's got that burst off the line.
It is. Somerville had another big part to play in that as well, who can spin, turn. Once he's gone, that's it. You're not going to catch him, but he's got the ability then to play the right pass with the right weight, saying, go on, run onto that one and stick it away, and Matteo Joseph did.
Yeah, I always find it as well. It's a good example of break off because Leeds under pressure. Dallas comes smothering out. Sorry, Melee should have said smothering out and makes a diving save and a really good one at that. Timed it to perfection. One of the new vice captains here for Leeds, number 1 on his back, and Melee gets across. And just what we said earlier about goalkeepers on pre-season staying switched on, don't have a lot to do. It's his first involvement since coming off the bench as looping cross goals all the way across out for a goal kick. And as the goalkeeping coaches will be delighted to see, first involvement, timed to perfection.
Brave as you like. Look at that. You've got to make sure you get a piece of the ball. He's committed. And as soon as the Hannover player knocked it to the right, he was in, knowing he was going to get a part or a knee to the head or whatever it was, but brave as you like, really good stop.
So a slight change of a left-footed goalkeeper now for Leeds. Might see more distribution down that side. Leeds certainly in the first the stages of the game a lot of ball, this man in particular, linking up play so well. He's done the same as Somerville, who's been checked out. It's a bit of a strong challenge for a player to come through the back of him. Leeds working though. Bogle to Nonto. Here is Bogle's ability to get forward, picked out. Cut back is on, put some power behind it. It'll fall out to Ampadu, just won't get there instead of the forward in Harvard Nielsen.
Well, there you go. That's exactly what you get from Bogle. It's brilliant. It's an overlap, gets the touchline there, and tries to pull the ball back, but willing to get forward when he can.
But Somerville is working well this for Leeds.
It's neat, it's tidy, moving it quickly.
Yeah, seemingly adjusted to those subs. Players have started to settle down, this man in particular. And going back to that goal, he's often scored goals, especially when he first broke onto the scene where he made the running behind and someone played it, he had the goal at his mercy. So he knows what pass Joseph wants, how to weight it, where he wants it, and it was on the money. There's another change coming here for Hannover as Monju Momula comes on in the number 38 jersey.
You're right, and it is, weighted pass really dictates what the player can do with it, but I think another one in that kind of respect would be Jorginho. We know how many assists that he has made last season. And his weighted pass and vision, and then of course the technique to go and play that pass was wonderful. And you're right, I think Somerville is one of those players as well.
Here is Stout back to Ampadu again, giving out the instructions for the players. Bogle just waiting, last few seconds if he can, milliseconds to make sure Pirro was open, which he was, and Leeds will get a throw-in. Ball played off the Leeds number 7, who scored the second goal this afternoon. Ilya Gruev, Pirro and Joseph netting for Leeds so far.
Yes, Gruev did score. I think it's nice for the strikers to score, but we need goals certainly from midfield this season. I'm looking at the centre halves as well, to someone to chip in with with 3 or 4 at least from those set pieces.
Yeah, certainly an area of the game Leeds would look to improve on. Certainly that aerial threat. Pascal Struijk's injury doesn't help that cause. He often a bit of a magnet to the ball when he's at a set piece if the delivery is good.
Yep, you mentioned the most important thing, it's delivery. And you've got to believe in what you're doing. So those runs from those defenders, the ball has to go in there. So they go hand in hand, but we're always looking to improve. And I just think that's one of the areas where I suppose we could make the most improvement.
Bogle to Nonto. Ampadu again, just getting a bit more space. Trying to just float around, almost pivot from left back to right back. Look for areas that he can influence the game.
And he's an option, and that's what I like about Ampadu. Always looking for the ball. And as a defender, when I got it and I'm looking up, who wants it, who's there. What you do know, he's always there and wanting the ball.
Yeah, he's got to get up off the floor there as a Leeds contingent, a few players diving in. Pascal Strout was one of them. I think Firpo was coming in to help out. Ampadu made a diving lunge, but I actually think he got the ball. Strout did not, and that is why our visitors have a free kick. And I guess that's just going back to that point you made then, as Hannover come forward. It's the modern game. All holding midfielders now have to be very comfortable in possession, but Rothwell, Gruev, Ampadu, if you're a centre-half, left-back, Tony, right-back, you would be confident of going into all of those players.
Yeah, and rolling it to them, and also dictating what they do with it. If you want it first time around the corner, you just you roll it in to make sure they're stronger foot. It's all those sort of things. It's just that's what takes, I suppose, up the time in pre-season to understand your teammates, especially when they're new. So what I've already seen of Rothwell, I like, because he's got, as we've seen, sharp feet and tries to pass the ball forward. It's not always sideways and backwards. It's on the angle, trying to get it into players, and that's really important.
Yeah, Bogle has come off second best here from a frailing boot. The Hannover player was doing somersaults on the floor, and Bogle got a clip to the side of the head, and I think while it being
it was there.
Yeah, it's there. Oh, it's a double whammy.
Yeah, no messing.
And Brooklyn Eze has come off injured as well, and he's down. We hope he's okay, but I've thoughts with Jaden Bogle, who didn't go to ground, so early signs are that perhaps it's just given a bit of a dizzy spell, but the left back can't put much weight on the leg. It's not there's no sign of any physios just yet. Bogle's on his feet, just rubbing the side of the head, checking the hair's still in place. It's perfectly cut.
Still looking good, Jaden. Don't worry, still looking good. Eze, not so good. He's a little ginger.
Yeah, he was, about to say, he has been taking the throw-ins. Finally, he takes control and takes it from Fabian Kunze. Another sub that's come off the bench at half-time. Important interception from Ampadu, but then it hits the toe of Bogle. Laskin there in the 25 jersey, trying to influence the game as a sub.
Well, let's see who picks up who here. There's a couple of mismatches, and Gnonto, of course, being kind of one of them. I don't know who he's picking up. I think it's important for Gnonto, to rather try and be on the edge of the box and picking someone up, or if it was one of the big guys, just get into their ribs, stop their run, and let Rodon come out and power the header away.
Yeah, he's standing in between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot now. He has Havard Nielsen, the one to go for it. Nielsen does get to the ball, but not before Pascal Strout, and now Leeds can break. This is why Gnonto wants to be on the edge of the box, to try and get away from trouble, but immediately smothered. And Monju Momolau gets to the ball first, and a glimmer of a counter-attack. But sadly, you could tell the difference between a player that's been on the pitch for a while and a sub that's been on for 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, Gnonto just delayed. That was the problem. He really could have been away. He was just waiting for the challenge, but the challenge came very quickly.
Yeah, Pirot to Joseph, gets his feet into prime position there, Matteo Joseph. Looked for a second like he was going to be played behind. A few more subs being lined up for Leeds. Joe Gallagher, James De Bio, and I think it was Charlie Crew. So it's more minutes in the legs of some of those youngsters.
Yeah, Gilhart, I think Peru will be the one to come off. He's played an hour now.
It's not a bad shout. Here's Joseph from Somerville. Idea was right to go for that return run, but he wasn't to know Somerville was going to check that run as Rodon back to Ampadu. That's what you mentioned earlier, Tony, about his ability to come for the ball. He's so comfortable with both feet. There's never a time he doesn't happily, come and get it with either. You get some players that are so predominantly one-footed. Ampadu there, equally adaptable, and Pascal Strout stands his ground as Leeds win a goal kick. Hour mark gone.
Ja, reden! Ja, nach vorne! Nach vorne! Ja, sehr gut! Gut! Weiter, Enzo, gut gesehen! Ja, gut!
Leeds here giving the ball away. Hannover with a chance and a good finish. Leeds for the first time caught out there really on the edge of their own box, and punishing them was Lars Gindorf. Fired home into that corner. Melia got a hand to it, but that is where an area where Leeds have just been unable to keep hold of the ball, and the fresher legs of Hannover got there, and we have a 3-1 scoreline.
Well, that was disappointing. It's a lack of concentration and a mistake at the back, and we were certainly punished for it. Good finish.
Yeah, a bit of frustration. Again, you can never get too carried away with pre-season. The subs are getting lined up here for Leeds. There's 4 of them in question. Max Werber is one of the others that has now stepped up.
Okay, 1, 2. Okay, 2, the second cam. Number 3, the third one. And number 4, okay.
Coming off, you had Firpo. Nonto's another one there, Tony.
Yeah, they'll all get their hour, which is ideal, and off they come. And Charlie Crew, we saw him, of course, against Harriet Down. Come on, he's so comfortable on the ball. Such a young man with clearly a very big future.
Yeah, has covered plenty of his games in the last 12 months or so for the 21s. Favourite thing about him on the bench for the first team, and then back playing for the 18s, because he qualifies, he's good enough, he's willing enough, and of course playing in that FA Youth Cup final. Charlie Crew, a player I think we will start to see a bit more of, and fingers crossed he has a long and successful career here. Very adaptable in possession, as Leeds just take their foot off the gas a little bit. So Debayo to centre half. I mean, Rodon has stepped to have a break. Over to left back.
Well, I'm just seeing, is it a left back, or have we gone to a 3 at the back? That
Quite possibly.
Yeah, let's a little look further. But
Quite possibly, Tony. It's not a bad suggestion. Bogle into Ampadu. Puts a bit of pressure on Ethan Ampadu, the new skipper, as Pascal Strack steps up and Berber moves away. Maybe Somerville. Joseph making a run in behind. Somerville dancing away. You can see his red flashes on those boots as they just manoeuvre their way past those trailing Hannover players. The quality he possesses. Here is Crew. Looks across to spray the ball wide. Gelhardt made a run in behind, now towards Bogle. An attacking run from him in towards Gelhardt. He can spin and turn. Takes control with Crew coming for it. Gelhardt still going, upended, and wins a free kick.
just gets his body in the way and smart play, winning that free kick.
Towards Stark. Somerville. Boots on the touchline as he collects his possession with a strong challenge. They've certainly, not saying the target because Somerville, but he's had to be pulled off the deck a couple of times.
Well, they're committed, Hannover. I mean, the tempo of the game is important, so they need to put their tackles in. I think what you saw in the first half out, they were getting the run around, and no one likes that. So clearly the manager's had a word with them, and they've gone out there to try and stop us playing. But of course, when you pick or playing against a player like Somerville, you don't give him time and space. You make sure you stop him in his tracks.
I don't think you'd last long with a manager if that was the case. As here is Rothwell. Delivery towards the far post, and an opportunity for Ampadu, and a head in hands for the Leeds skipper. Feeling that he should have scored. He might have seen it late, turn with the fact it was flicked on towards him. It's a shot on target, but a player never reacts as they're thinking, oh, I was unlucky. Keeper's done well. It's always, I should score.
I think he clearly did see that late and didn't quite get the connection he wanted to, but had a lot of space, didn't he, to get a better either control or shot on target and in the back of the net. But not this time. Ampadu doesn't score many. I think, was it Peterborough away? Did he get a couple? He got somewhere, managed to score a few, but hopefully he can get a few more this season.
Yeah, sadly for him, goal of the season was scored in Patrick Bamford, because he might be remembered a little bit more. But of course we all remember it for one reason, only, as Hannover concede a goal kick here. Leeds still 3-1 to the good.
Yeah, I think looking where Verber is, it might still be a back four.
The change. Montel Nidaikon is coming on. From Hannover's perspective, the changes have breathed a new lease of life into them. A lot more zip about their defensive press. It's up to these Leeds players now. Some of them fringe, some of them regular first teamers to click. And of course, you're always looking to impress the coaching staff. We've got a few out there that naturally will feel they'll be starting. But that attitude isn't going to cut it. Of course, you've got to prove your worth. And after nearly 70 minutes of action, Leeds are still sitting pretty on the score sheet, with minutes in the tank for their players, including this man here, making his debut at half-time, Jaden Bogle. A good precise pass into Joe Rothwell, who will spray it again early to get Somerville away and uses that speed, Somerville, to get behind the defender. Verber is flying up there to join him. Somerville, though, slows it down for now. He's got Rothwell behind. He has Ampadu on the edge of the box, shooting space for the skipper. Goes for goal, puts too much on it. I think Verber was coming across it anyway, and it is a goal kick.
Oh, he'll be disappointed at that.
Good area.
Yeah, it is, and you can see how he's up there and supporting. Somerville does really well. Just a twist and turn. Gets defenders on their back foot. And the space, though, was there, wasn't it, for Ampadu? And Daniel Farker knows that, you know, those sort of chances, you have to at least make the goalkeeper work.
Max Verber's done very well to duck out the way, because I think he'd have been seeing double if it had connected. The power from the Leeds number 4. There's a mistake forced by Hannover. Stefan Leitel's men are pushing Leeds all the way in this second half in terms of effort. A lot more even, hasn't it, Tony? In the, I mean, again, subs, that's what happens. But certainly in the first half, 20 minutes, Leeds were the team barely giving them a sniff. We'll break off because there's a chance here for Galhat, who might open up the shot. Still going, lays it to Rothwell. He tries to poke it towards Somerville, falls back to the Leeds number 8. He runs out of wriggle room as Hannover come back and recover. Just about get away. Do they know? Bogle's making them work for it. And that's good attitude to have. Didn't give up on the situation. You can see Ampadu clapping. Thought it was going to break up. I thought Galhat would have gone for goal, but he actually did, I guess, what you would probably say was the safer option.
Yeah, and then Rothwell couldn't quite find Somerville, but you're right. The immediate thought then is to win the ball back, and that's what we have done.
Galhat got past a couple there, leads it to Joseph. Bogle still onside, driving into the area as he does so. Across the face to Joseph. Brilliant ball, equally good finish, and the new man makes an instant impact with an assist. Matteo Joseph has 2 for the afternoon, and no wonder it's all smiles.
I'm loving that. I'm absolutely loving that. Jaden Bogle, get to the line, right. Who can I pass it to? On the move is Matteo Joseph, and that's a really good finish. Looks simple, but it's not. Allows it to go across his body, and left foot just guides it into the bottom corner. Scored one with his right, one with his left. It's been a really good 25 minutes for him.
Yeah, if you know, we said all throughout this broadcast, you're looking for connections, aren't you? You're looking for bits of play where you can look and think, right, a couple of months' time, that's where we start to see that relationship develop. And I think if Bogle is out there for Leeds United, those centre forwards will be making those runs. He gets forward, he knows what strikers like. He's got the occasional goal up his sleeve as well.
Yeah, and then the ability to have composure and put it in the right place, and that was a really good play.
Kolja Udene is on as well, as the changes are vast for Hannover, who are certainly beforehand. 1 week ahead in terms of preparation, because they've got their first league game next week. And of course have Valencia in their final preparations before the first game at home on the Saturday of the new season. Bio nips in, Stout nips in as well. Now Somerville back to the Leeds number 5 as Verber goes back once more. And controlled there really for Leeds. Same again for Melier. Could have gone long, saw that Verber was open. Some of them will try a trick maybe that wasn't on. Hannover will look to punish. Leeds going across, blocking from a mixture of Debayo and Bogle. And good hands from Meslier to make sure it doesn't go behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, you're right. Soil wasn't aware there was another defender behind him. Beats the first one, but the second one just picks the ball up.
Max, hör, das überspielen ihn. Überspielen ihn. Ja.
Great play. Well worked out.
Yeah, sharp. Everyone on the same page. Galhart's making a darting run. Bogle uses him as a decoy. Trying to just get one touch before the pass. Him and Joseph working so hard. Galhart likewise. He's been pretty sharp up there as Galhart as well since coming off the bench. And Joseph have added a bit more extra juice up there, of course. Shapiro had run himself into the ground in that hour that he was on the surface. Verba, great dish from Leeds into Joseph. Could have gone for goal. Laid off to Rothwell. Here's Charlie Crew. Rothwell wide to Bogle.
I can't believe Joseph didn't go for goal. Get that hat trick.
Yeah, centre forward. Normally very hungry for goals. Verba once more across the face. Nobody made that near post run. Rothwell a bit flat-footed. But Leeds are just churning out the chances now, making opportunities for themselves.
Really good switch of play.
I was going to say, it's great to see the movement. You know, Verba inside the opposition, cutting it back. It's an area we could see him in this season if he's playing left back or as a third centre half. You never know. I mean, of course, when he first came to Leeds, holding midfielder.
Well, exactly. He could do a bit of everything. We've seen him left-hand side, that hammer of a left foot as well. Loves a shot. Gets forward well. Good crosser of the ball. And of course, we know he's a strong defender.
Yeah, there's having to Henry Schroeder's having to do some disciplinary work here because Ethan Ampadu had a disagreement with somebody in Hannover colours. I think from a first glance they both stood on each other and there was a little kick out from the pair. Fabian Kunze is the one that's had a disagreement with the skipper, who has led like a skipper. We mentioned it in the first half, we touch upon it. I mean, congratulations to Ethan Ampadu, to the latest captain. It's an honour that many of our listeners would love to have had in their life. You know, the big shoes to fill, but a young man that looks like he's going to take it all in his stride.
Yes, and I think now with the experience that he's had, of course, started at Exeter, went to Chelsea, and then went on loan, all sorts of places. A couple of seasons in City A, so he's immensely experienced in lots of different ways, and we've seen that in his play. He's been absolutely superb, and delighted that he's a skipper, and no doubt. It's a good choice for me, really good choice.
He's been caught late there. There's a challenge down the back. Leeds are not happy about it. And Ampadu was down on the floor. Let's hope it's just an impact injury more than anything else, because it was late, it was from behind, it was quite menacing. And Ampadu not only won the ball back, played the pass, got Leeds on the front foot. And I do believe if this was the Championship in a few weeks' time, there'd be a yellow card. The subs apologised, the Yesik Nankan. It isn't going to wash, and we have a break in play.
Well, Nankan already made a foul, a poor challenge earlier in this second half on Rodon, and now he's clumsily got Ampadu in a bit of bother here.
Yeah, and this is the one downside to pre-season, when you see a player down and there's everything crossed, people touching wood, crossing their arms and legs, thinking, just get up, it's a bruise, get yourself off and get an ice bath ready for Valencia in the season ahead.
Well, if it's a bruise, no problems at all. That's absolutely fine. If it's a twist, it's ligaments, there's when things start to go a bit awry. But if there's any sort of danger, just swap. But I saw the thumbs up there. I saw a thumb up. I like that.
Yeah, universal sign language is not too hard to work out there. That the physios are happy, and he might just be told that is it.
Fine.
There's another change coming on for Hannover. Eric Ullmann is the next one on. And Ampadu will make his way, and if he does want to go back on, I'm sure physically he'll be able to. The subs that could come on in his place. We've got Chambers as a midfielder, could mix it up. Outfield players left, Harry Gray, Lucas Thomas. 15 minutes to go. And after I won't say quiet, but a typical pre-season feel turning to the start of that second half. Last 7-8 minutes, Leeds sharp, 2 goals, creating 4 or 5 more chances as well.
Yeah, listen, you're never going to control a game 90 minutes of the time. You're going to have times where you're going to have to defensively get yourself organised. They will have more of the ball. I think, to be honest, Hannover, the first 20 minutes, half hour, they were shell-shocked. I mean, they couldn't keep the ball. Then they worked their way into the game. We both make substitutions, and then it will settle down. It'll be more 50-50, but then you've got to start winning the battle, and then you start playing your stuff. And that's exactly what we've done. The third goal was superb, right from back to midfield to front. It was great play. A mistake, it rightly got punished. They get their goal, but overall, it's been positive.
So Pascal Strauk and Ethan Ampadu, the two survivors of the starting 11 as we tick by towards that final 10-12 minutes of the game. Joseph juggling possession, loses it eventually.
Go, 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 go!
But again, that pressurising from Rothwell. It's good to see the attitude, the tactics being played out still, even by those subs. And he's quite a direct player, isn't he? He's promised to be a runner if he gets the chance to impress for Leeds this year.
Yeah, for sure. Just giving the ball again, just the... That's not a foul. Oh, it's no foul.
Well, big claim as Nankamp. Forward it goes, looking for Nielsen. Overhit, Bogle looking to draw the foul. That is a foul. I know which one that Leeds United would have rather have had.
Yeah. Nankamp on like a one-man wrecking ball. You've got to be careful. We've got to be careful of those sort of players as well, because, as we said before, you just don't want to get injured. And not that he, I think, means to do it, but he's putting himself about physically and causing a couple of problems accidentally.
Yeah, you run the risk, don't you, of someone that's just desperate to impress. Of course, there's players that are a lot more physical and enjoy that wind-up sort of style. Another one of the vice captains out there now, Pascal Strauk. We've got all three leaders on paper. Of course, there is others that will non-stop talk. Your Rodons up there. There'll be one in particular. I'm sure Jaden Bogler's an experienced fullback that's got to get up and down the park. We'll add some extra instructions as well. Leeds get the ball back through Ampadu. Sadly, Bogle was just a bit too much inside, so couldn't get to it. Looking for positives, Tony, with pre-season. Overall scores, results are not the end of the world. But 3 goals Friday, 4 goals tonight. A chance for a fifth here as Somerville races away. Defender covers well. Somerville doesn't give up. Still going.
Foul.
Referee gives the free kick and the foul, but nearly a chance for an 8th goal in 2 matches. All positives.
It is, but what a lovely touch from Teo Joseph as well. Just missed it there, and Somerville come up against the defender who read exactly what he was trying to do, but yeah, really good play.
Yeah, Joseph has done himself no harm whatsoever with the cameo off the bench. Somerville oversteps the mark. A foul on pretty much halfway. Yeah, coming across, second bounce beats the Hannover man, Mamula, into the final 10 minutes. And as a player, Tony, is this where you've got to try and stay professional, but 4-1 scoreline, second friendly, you just try to avoid any trouble, keep impressing, just do your job? But
yeah, I think concentration, that's really important, making no mistakes, when you are tired. And only these sorts of games as well, let's not forget, they're working physically hard in training as well, so this is just building up strength, and when you do get tired, of course, that's when mentally you start to possibly make a mistake, so trying not to do that is really important.
Yeah, Rothwell apologised there to Bogle, just sprayed the ball at his feet, didn't have any chance of controlling it. Inside ball is a cracker from Hannover.
Wonderful. Somerville didn't read that one, did he?
Well, Pascal Strauk did, which is a
handy,
point, yeah.
Junkie, ready to go?
Plenty of space here for Hannover. De Bayo shuts that down. Strauk clears, and if he spotted that pass, it's a beauty rather than a aimless clearance. But it picked out Joe Gallagher, who in turn picks out Crew, who could return the favour, which he will. Gallagher looking for goal, went to take the leather off the ball, didn't have the awareness that there was players coming.
Quicker, needed to be quicker. Didn't have that sort of time, did he? I thought he was winding up for a left foot pile driver, but didn't get his shot away.
That's exactly what he was lining up, wasn't it? He just didn't anticipate that the Hanover players were not going to give up on that situation. But again, his build-up play has been really positive. He's played people in exactly when he should have done.
Yeah, and Charlie Crew makes a great run, doesn't he? Lung-bursting run down the right-hand side, but had the awareness then to just chop it back inside. Knew Gelhardt was there.
Crew to Ampady. Joseph. Good hold-up play again. Just keeps it away from the defender. Ampadu. Gallagher tried to be fancy and go in behind to Joseph. You can see why he went for that idea, but now Leeds being caught out. Players out of position. Recovered well on that side. Now Leeds are stretched on the near side. Strauk and Somerville coming across. Good block again from Pascal Strauk. I'm sure he's just loving being out there. The injury he had at the end of last season, for pretty much half of the season, as Somerville's released. Joseph likewise, he's beaten the offside trap, curved his run to perfection. Joseph doesn't have that many numbers at the minute to help out. A few coming in at the back post. Ampadu rolls it to Bogle. Gallagher on the outside. Very calm and measured this from Leeds. From Ampadu to Strack, back to Verber. Somerville wants it inside. Just got caught in two minds, I think, from staying still and Junkie to his right. That's why the pass was slightly behind him. For a misplaced pass, Verber gets it back. And Hanover just lost their zip. They had that 10-minute spell where they were a bit more robust. It's a bit hapless in the final third. It's a bit more aimless, a bit more desperate. As a result, Leeds are just able to just take their time and rebuild.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was clear we are the better side. They had their moment, but certainly nowhere near enough. And now, just with 6 minutes to go, you just want to see it out properly. Finish correctly, keep doing the right things, no mistakes, no injuries. Can we get another goal? We'll try, but if not, keep it tight.
Somerville to Verber. Joseph's asking for it in behind. Verber eventually gets it to him.
Didn't mean to, did he? That wasn't quite the right ball, but it got there in the end.
Rothwell, Ampady, Somerville, all just very easy on the eye. Short, sharp passing, but it's a training sort of feel to it now where the players are just playing keep ball.
Well, it is, but it's keep the ball moving. Don't take too many touches, because this is where the opposition can get a bit annoyed and rattled, and an extra touch, you get a challenge that you really don't need and want.
Somerville's offside. He will dispute it. I've seen that somewhere before. Somerville disputing an offside decision. And last 5 minutes or so of proceedings, I don't think we'll have any need for stoppage time.
Line of 6, you're last. Corners against.
A chance to see Great the last few minutes. Ampadu, the man that has come off, so it'll just mean a bit of a change from one of those players in a more advanced position to drop in.
Ampadu can come off and have a bit of a rest, all 5 minutes of it. Yeah. He always seems to play plenty of minutes, doesn't he, Ethan Ampadu? Harrogate Town, he was looking up when a couple of substitutions were being made, and it wasn't him.
Yeah, I mean, as a captain, a leadership material, you want to be out there trying to give instructions out, but he certainly deserved his break today, there's no doubt about that.
Right, let's see if Harry can get a touch or two, see a little bit more of him.
Yeah, this is where you get in that mode, Tony, of pre-season where there's a flash to the future, isn't there? What can players do that in a couple of years we might see them, of course, could get a chance in the first team this year. This man would like to do just that in Gallagher, but Hanover get back to stop that through ball of his. And out for yet another throw. But there's a few youngsters out there that will love to make their name in the next 10 months. Leeds get a corner. You're looking at Gray, Crew, DeBio, Thomas, Chambers, all 21s apart from Gray, that's will let us make that next step up.
Yeah, we just saw Harry there, and when someone told me he was born in 2008, that made me feel really old. It's incredible what he's doing.
Yeah, that is when it's tough to take, isn't it?
It is, but it's wonderful to see, and you want to just give him some space and time, don't you? That's the most important thing. But it's great. He has these sort of 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Trains with the first team. Really, do his progression the world of good.
That's certainly the case. As Leeds, good work defensively with DeBio. Rothwell wanted the 1-2 with Galhart, attempted it but just overplayed. And throw into Hanover. I think they were suggesting a free kick, but throwing is the next best thing. In fact, they have given the free kick. Referee has changed his mind, so that will allow them to switch things up. Drink needed for one of the Hanover players near the touchline. The captain's armband is being switched upon as well because Halstenberg, his afternoon is over. And I'm sure he's glad to get a break.
So. Be glad to get off.
He's had Pirro, Jorginho, Nonto, Aronson, Somerville, Gelhardt and Joseph. I mean, that's a tough day at the office, that.
It is, and they've conceded the 4 goals, so yeah, not easy. Can we get another chance? Can we get another goal?
Yeah, if we're being extra greedy, you want a hat-trick for Joseph, you want a chance for Gray, don't you? You want those younger players to make a name for themselves. Of course, just what Chambers did in the 90th minute, Tony, on Friday.
Yeah, yep, that was a really good strike. Hit the ball so well and bounced it just before the goalkeeper and got his goal, so I'm sure he'll remember that one for a long time.
Somerville aiming there to get back and win a free kick, and he did just that. Just got the ball tangled underneath his feet. He and crew went to stop that attack. Strauch fighting for the ball. Verber puts himself about as well. There's a little bit of each player doing the same thing there. A bit overzealous. There's not an awful lot in that, but the surprise is that, of course, Leeds' players have watched Jessic Nankam throw himself about.
Exactly, and what I love...
Here's the revenge.
Here's a bit of something back for you. Take that with you. I like there's 4 yellow shirts around him as well. We're talking the 89th, 90th minute of a game, and we're still, trying to do the right thing, which is good to see.
So Nankam slow to get to his feet. Two-man wall. Gray and Galhart. Somerville just having to come inside to stop the potential layoff. Catching practice for Melier, who may ball this out quick if Leeds have got any interested parties. Only Galhart, I think, was the one making the more vigorous run. So, last few seconds of what has been a successful day for Leeds United with a 4-1 success. Tony, your overall thoughts at full time?
Really good workout. I think we played some lovely football. The new boys, Bogle as well, very, very impressive. Great to see Aronson back and Verber coming on in that second half. Strauch getting 90 minutes under his belt. A lot of real positives, but probably the biggest positive is up top. Mateo Joseph getting those couple of goals, just the movement, the one-touch finishes, and the willingness to run those channels has been really good. Daniel Farke will be delighted. Hopefully no injuries. And Purdue just with a slight one, which I'm sure is just knock rather than anything else. But quality opposition, good tempo, pitch is in good nick as well, and everyone has performed rather well. Yeah,
fingers crossed. Another box ticked, another game to come in Germany. Valencia, of course, and then the first day of the season. It'll soon come round. Leeds United running out 4-1 winners, Gruev, Pirro, and a brace from Mateo Joseph.